Sirena gatta vampira e altre follie. Una raccolta di racconti di vario genere, horror, romantici e persino autobiografici. Disponibile su Amazon sia in versione cartacea che digitale.
Compralo, brutto stronzo! Compralo! Now!
Ok, mi sentite, vero? Buonasera, o dovrei dire buongiorno, buongiorno. Siamo qua ritornati con un gioco un po' diverso dal solito, sempre horror, ok? Che si chiama Slade Princess, quindi è un gioco horror tipo in stile visual novel, immagino, da quello che ho visto. Dicono che sia un capolavoro, oltre ad essere un horror. E dato che di recente ad Halloween è uscito, diciamo, una nuova patch in cui aggiungono altre robe, infatti si chiama Pristine Director Cut, come cavolo si chiama, sono curioso di sapere che cosa hanno aggiunto e non solo hanno aggiunto appunto nuovi contenuti, ma hanno aggiunto anche la traduzione italiana, che in qualche modo ci facilita il tutto, anziché non che sia un problema leggere in inglese, eccetera, però a livello di traduzione o quant'altro, almeno non vi sto a tradurre, ecco. Quindi vediamo questo avviso dei contenuti. Questo è un gioco horror, non adatto a tutti i tipi di pubblico. Attenzione, wow. Visita il nostro sito Black Tabby Games per una lista dettagliata di tutte le avvertenze sui contenuti. No, bastardo. Slade Princess include immagini intermittenti e un effetto parallasse che in rare cosa non può... vaffanculo, però siete dei pezzi di merda. Se uno di questi effetti dovesse provocarti disturbi di oggi, puoi disattivare nelle impostazioni di gioco. Così infatti lo faccio, raga. Ok. Qualsiasi odore troverai in questi oscuri recessi, abbi il coraggio di andare fino in fondo. Non ci sono finali premature, non ci sono decisioni sbagliate, esistono solo inizi e punti di vista. Questa è una storia d'amore. Ah, è pure una storia d'amore, raga. Allora, lingua e sottotitoli. Andiamo su... cos'è accessibilità? Sostituzione del font. Diminuzione del testo, raga. Io il testo... Ok, no, non così. Ok, così va bene. Non pensavo che volevo più grande, ma diventa ancora più grande. Quindi predefinito è questo. Non mi fa vedere. Vabbè, fai il predefinito e vaffanculo. Basta che sia... si vede, ecco. Calo del volume della lettura assistita. Lettura... Ah, per i ciechi? Cos'è appunti poi?
Lettura, lettura assistita dagli appunti appunti.
No.
Lettura assistita disattivata.
Assolutamente no, raga. Allora, comandi, cosa dice? Shift A per aprire, fa avanzare il dialogo, non va bene, fa avanzare il dialogo senza compiere alcuna scelta. Ah, ok, questo spazio, ok. Esplora l'interfaccia. Boh, io immagino che basta anche mouse e spazio, no? Preferenze, cos'è preferenza? Ok. Effetto parada, vabbè. Andiamo, dai, nuova partita. Sono curioso, raga. Io l'ho comprato questo Halloween a un prezzo comunque 13 euro. In uno di questo sentiero si trova una capanna e nella cantina di questa capanna c'è una principessa. Il mondo finirà, ok, va bene, uccidiamola. Finale di cosa parli? Hai mai pensato che forse l'unica ragione per cui causerà la fine del mondo è proprio perché si trova rinchiusa? L'uccidere sembra un'azione malvagia, non trovi? Non può fare qualcun altro? Scordo, non intendo hai considerato il fatto che a me potrebbe andare bene che il mondo finisca? Effettivamente. Riceverò un qualche ricompensa per il mio aiuto. Ah, ok, grazie che mi dici cosa fare. Grandioso, ho sempre voluto uccidere un monarca. Viva la rivoluzione. Così che sia pensavo, voltati e vai via. Dio, quanto esperienza. Vabbè, io direi, allora, un po' più blind, raga. Hai mai considerato il fatto che a me potrebbe andare bene che il mondo finisca? No, ovvio che no. Io invece sì, che cosa mi dici? Penso di meno. Sì, tipo io. Right? Mi pensate che fosse l'unica ragione per cui causa... Ascolta, non essendo farlo, magari lo sarebbe voluto uccidere, viva la rivoluzione, possibile in silenzio. Ah, basta, non c'è un continuazione su quello. Non può farlo qualcun altro? È vero, non c'ho voglia, raga. Purtroppo... Va bene. Bello, però. E poi effettivamente finirà. Di che cosa parla? Mm. Mm. Allora vado via. Non mi interessa, per me va bene la fine del mondo. Se proprio si deve andare a campagna, ma ragione. No, ciò che conta è dove non sto andando. Parlo della campagna, lì non ci vado. Esatto. Ah, questa è la voce mia. Quello che ci viene chiesto di fare è sbagliato. È meglio che lavarci le mani che mi schiacci in questa faccenda. Ah, ok, una mia vocina sulla testa. Guarda te. Ma che cazzo. Si sente, vero? Sì, magari alzo un pochettino. Ok. Voltati di nuovo e andiamo. Non è egoista, non me ne frega un cazzo. Endeavor. Non mi interessa, non intendo uccidere una principessa. Meglio, magari questi tutti meritano di morire, così imparo a gettarmi in mezzo di un bosco e chiedermi di uccidere qualcuno contro di loro, esatto. Va bene, raga, va bene. Pensate, alla fine di ogni dolore. La fine di ogni dolore, è incredibile. Quindi... metti caso che volessi morire. Esatto, e non mi interessa. Ancora, niente. Sapete cosa mi ricorda? Mi ricorda Stanley il narratore. La parabola di Stanley. Ai 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 ai. Quindi non posso oppormi, devo andare per forza dentro quella... Ah sì, allora vuol dire che andrò in un'altra direzione di nuovo, anziché che camminerò... Ah, soltanto questi. Va bene. Hai sempre la facoltà di scegliere, ma lascia che ti dica che stai prendendo la decisione giusta per tutti, praticamente. Andiamo a uccidere la fica, va bene. Ma sta zitto. Per una volta tanto sta zitto.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on the
coltello.
is a pristine blade.
Quindi.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it.
Non posso avere una mazza da baseball, è più divertente. Prendiamo la lama. Va bene, andiamo a salvare il mondo. Entra nella cantina.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place.
Bello questa cosa qua che poi vedere un po' così. Questo cos'è? C'è anche il salvataggio. Vabbè, facciamo senza salvataggio. Se la principessa vive da qui a ammazzare sarà un gesto di pietà. Who's there, mica?
sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge.
È vero.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Sono qui per ucciderti, credo. Forse giù le scarpe.
Still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful.
È vero.
Is she really a threat to the world?
Sta zitto.
Focus on the task at hand.
Esatto.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Anche la voce da ragacaglioni. Cosa puoi prendere? Vabbè, sì, mi esco per ora. No. No, ancora sono qui solo per parlare.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then?
No, non mi va.
What even makes you think you can kill me?
Beh, sei incatenata.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
È vero.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Potrebbe esserci un as di vasi, eh? Sei sicuro che non abbia armi? E se è solo un bluff e se ci uccidesse?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized?
No, io non mi ritengo una persona civile. Non ho intenzione di mollare
I'm
l'arma.
not talking to you.
Va bene. Vai.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Ma vai a cagare, va.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her. We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Bene.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an
Perché il mio protagonista è un impedito, raga?
You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart.
Esatto, ha ragione.
The upper hand.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely.
Anch'io sono deluso di me
I'd be
stesso.
lying if I said I wasn't
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life.
Posso fare qualcosa, raga?
This is the end, isn't it?
Sì.
I'm afraid it is.
Ma vai a cagare, narratore.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Slay the princess e non riesci a uccidere la principessa. Dai, allora, cioè...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Ho un terribile déjà vu. Aspetta.
It hasn't.
No, anche se
If
fosse...
it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I
Oh,
can
okay.
hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows?
Voce della Francia.
Do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
È vero.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Dammi un'arma più decente. Io vorrei che tutto questo sia già accaduto per te. Perché dovrei starti a sentire? Perché dovrei provarci?
Those are two very
Sono due domande ben distinte, ma va bene.
Fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Esatto.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Pure.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
È quello che è successo.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess.
Dio santo, ma ci ha ammazzato.
It's been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
È diventato più difficile.
The other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us,
È vero.
and everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario,
Sto già sfruttando,
the
ma...
question of how you got back.
È vero, come sono tornato qua?
Time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Ottima domanda.
The people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother?
Tanto
Might
vuole...
as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let
È
her
vero.
do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of staying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up.
Andiamo alla capa... Allora, parliamo di cosa poi ci pensa. L'ultima volta che mi ha ucciso, come evito che succeda di nuovo?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
E io avevo fatto così, raga. L'ultima volta avevi detto che era solo una principessa, com'è possibile che abbia potuto uccidermi a mani nude?
It's just a princess.
Infatti.
What happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Brutto cretino, dammi più informazioni giuste.
We could pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Smette di fingere di essere in grado di fare...
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm
Quindi,
just being realistic.
voce dell'affranto è il pessimista, l'eroe sei fastidio.
Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her.
Non sto...
Can't stress enough how absolutely
sei evasivo, cos'è che mi nascondi?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going the less you know, the better.
E chi l'ha chiusa?
Locked her in that basement.
È perché lo devo fare io.
It's a path
Cioè.
in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Ma se l'hanno imprigionata, perché non l'hanno anche ammazzata? Perché infatti.
I'm not supposed to say this.
Sono speciali.
It's because you're
È
special.
come una corruzzia.
You're the only person
Arwini Kitty, la matta principessa, va bene.
if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
Ok, signori, va bene.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Infatti,
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
non lo so.
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about...
Ok, non c'è altro.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with
Ok, andiamo verso qua.
a warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Va bene.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last
Ma
time.
sta zitto.
She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At
Ok.
least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
Va bene.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Dai su, cazzo duro, uccidiamo la principessa.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more
È
grandiose
diverso.
than the whole exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is the blade is your implement. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small.
Non hai detto nulla dello specchio alla parete.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Ma c'è uno specchio.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway.
Ma sta zitto.
I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just... For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror. So no one needs to worry about confronting a though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad, miserable in it.
Che cosa strana questo narratore.
You look perfectly normal.
Dice che non c'è un...
Do you not know what we look like?
È vero, che aspetto abbiamo?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
A me importa di cuore quando mi mentono. Avviciniamoci allo specchio.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Rompi lo
This
specchio.
really isn't funny.
È vero.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Avevo dato tutto anch'io che avevo questa mano strana.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
È solo...
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life.
Non siete morti, di certo non siete stati uccisi.
Haven't been
Era
killed.
molto diverso comunque. Vabbè.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult.
Entra nella cantina.
The door to the basement.
Anche qua sarà diverso.
Revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are.
È piuttosto piacevole.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her if her booming voice rolls.
Is that a guest I
Qualcuno è
hear?
venuto a trovare.
Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oddio,
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
è vero.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her.
Sta zitto.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude?
È vero.
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions.
Adesso.
So if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Su, andiamo verso la principessa.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort. Every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before
Okay.
getting to the next. But soon the princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long
È molto diverso.
around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do.
Aveva detto che era inutile resistere.
Pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Step me, mother.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Allora.
Drop it.
E io stingo la presa.
The blade slips from your
Ma non è vero, stingo la presa.
hands uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just gonna let that happen to us?
È
We have
vero.
a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Pure.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us.
Non è vero.
I understand what it feels. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Esatto.
Kneel.
Oppure. Inginocchiati. Yes, mammi proprio. No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle.
Niente.
Knees hit the floor.
Non c'è libertà di scelta.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch.
Vedi, quindi
And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed.
vedi che è accaduto qualcosa.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
Me lo dice il narratore.
Last time we met. I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. it's best not to give
Mi dice un cretino cosa devo fare. Non so come togliermi di torno. A quanto pare che la userai alla fine del mondo.
You weak-willed buffoon.
È vero.
Is that so?
È così.
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart.
È come una...
Feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Non so cosa stai dicendo, però va bene.
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird.
Yes, ma è proprio così.
She's inevitable. There's nothing
Thanos, raga. È ineluttabile.
she'll be nice to us.
Ma sta zitto. Cosa hai in mente? Solo perché sei destinato a causare la fine d'ora non vuoi dire che tu debba davvero fare. Puoi essere tutto ciò che desideri. Prima che io prenda una qualsiasi cosa, ho delle domande per te. Cosa ti è successo dopo la mia morte? Non ti aiuterò a distruggere il mondo, non mi importa dove nasci. Dopo sono al tuo servizio, proprio così. E allora, cosa è successo dopo la tua morte? C'è un posto vuoto per te se vorrai. L'anima da compagnia ha il suo perché. Cosa hai in mente? Solo perché sei di che non ti devo distruggere.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Ah. Se sei davvero così, non puoi rompere le catene da sola.
Rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
Infatti.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should...
Sta zitto.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of the
La teoria generativa che si libera da sola non è un granché. Quindi hai bisogno del maschio bianco etero cis che ti aiuti?
The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
Ok.
The song of you being so struck by my
No,
glory.
hai deciso di continuarmi nel mondo.
Overwhelmed by what I am, that you and from your act of utter devotion and submission
Un'alba migliore.
a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs.
Solo perché sei destinato a causare la fine della... non vuol dire che tu debba fare per forza. Puoi essere tutto ciò che desideri, non ti aiuterò. Vabbè, sono al tuo servizio.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Sì, effettivamente sì.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
Minchia, che figa però.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
E quindi cosa mi farà?
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong.
È vero. Se riesci a liberarmi...
You from me.
Se riesci a liberarmi di questo narratore mi faresti un favore.
Is that a person? No. It used to be a person. It's something different now.
Un eco.
Echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Sei piccolo, non è vero?
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't
Madonna.
understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are.
Sei mio.
Mine.
Oh.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
Ma
How are we
certo.
supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
Ah, devo, è finito, mi spiace. E se non ci credessi cosa succederebbe in quel caso? È un'ottima domanda.
You poor, wretched little thing.
C'è sempre che devi soltanto aprire l'ultima volta del tuo cuore.
And once you please, don't do.
Aspetta, devo. Aspettiamo la catena.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist.
Oh, finalmente alla fine. Oh,
Is upon us.
What a good disciple you are.
evviva. Il tuo servo obbediente, giura fedeltà a chi ti è superiore. Evviva. Ma non ha fede la sua mano. Qualcosa l'ha portata via, lasciando qualcos'altro al suo posto.
Where did she go? And there's that mirror.
Oh,
Why is it here?
non so dove sei andato, non saprei neanche dove cominciare a cercare. Tu è sparito, sento che dovrei guardare dentro lo specchio.
I'm begging you, don't do.
Ma scusa, non avevi mai avuto paura dello specchio?
It's different now. It feels. I don't want to look at us.
Ma sta zitto, voglio guardare. Si alza leggermente e loro non ci sono più, ma lo specchio rimane, che quello che vede si sia sul interno. Sono io, no? Sei tu. Ah. Sei solo in un luogo vuoto, qui regna la quiete. C'è diverso dalla capanna. Ti trovi alla capanna. Avvicinati.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile.
L'odore di una fragile di Chicago. Questa è la fine del mondo. Tu conosci il narratore. Sei tu che mi hai mandato ad ammazzare la principessa. Sei tu la cosa che mi ha interpellato qui. Io sto prendendo coscienza solo adesso.
I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Ok. Questa è la fine del mondo.
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Hai ragione. Tu conosci il narratore?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant.
Niente viene.
Who comes here but us?
Ok. Tu sei la principessa?
She is part of me, and part of me.
Ok. Cosa succederà ora?
Nothing.
Niente.
As we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us. There is no exit. But this vessel is a creature.
Puoi farti dimenticare solo se credi che
She can
sia.
make you forget. If only you believe her. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole.
Non hai paura che io trovi un modo per ucciderti?
I have not lived.
E se io non ti... Aspetta, sono stato mandato ad ammazzare il principe perché non distruggere il mondo. Se io ti aiutassi preferissi anche tu a distruggerlo.
Ask of things that cannot be done.
Anche da un'altra forma di modellare. Se ti avvicini, cosa farai se ti aiuto?
How can I know? I am flickers in something's broad.
Ok. Va bene, fammi
She
dimenticare.
asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Cade al buio e muore. Ok. E ritorniamo tutto da capo, ok?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of
Lo
the
saprai
path,
anche quando io vedrai.
there's a cabin.
Ho sbloccato diversi
And in
achievement.
the basement of that cabin, you're
Ok,
hidden.
sì. Puoi saltare il dialogo che hai gesto premendo il salto tab o... Ok, sul controllo. Finirà di cosa pare. Hai mai pensato che fosse l'unica ragione per cui il caso... Perché si trova rinchiuso? Non può far... Allora... Hai considerato il fatto che a me potrebbe andare bene che il mondo finisca? Ok, grazie. Andiamo qua alla capanna.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning. Before she will lie, we're not going to go through with it, right? She's a prince. Ignore him.
Entra nella capanna. Allora, mi sembra di capire che una run di cercare di uccidere non riusciamo a uccidere, quindi
Almost entirely bare, the blade.
proviamo a parlare.
The door to the basement creaks open.
Sì, va bene.
Hello? Is someone there?
È proprio cambiato, raga.
Hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to
Se poi
hear
di coltello
once.
cambia il suo
The rest of
tono.
you don't let it fool you.
Sono qui per una visita. Sono qui per ammazzarti, credo. Ma prosegui giù.
You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. How could
Infatti.
I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Allora, aspetta, prima parliamo un po'.
Okay.
Come ti chiami? Non so niente di te, per quanto ne so sei rinchiusa qua giù senza motivo. Se sono la prima cosa che vedi così tanto tempo, allora cosa hai mangiato prima? È vero,
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
è ovvio.
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort.
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to try.
Se sono la prima persona che vedi così tanto, cosa hai mangiato, è vero?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Come non capisci cosa c'entra?
Time this is ever going to happen. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating?
È vero. Com'è che ti chiami?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
No.
Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine?
Principessa, principessa. Bene. È vero, principessa è anche un nome. Non riesco a credere che ti tengo in prigione, ti tirerò fuori qui. Va bene, ti tirerò fuori qui, non farmene pentire.
You're only making this more.
Sta zitto,
You and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
sta zitto.
You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked
Stiamo capendo qui, però voleva che non...
prefer to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just.
Se non c'è una chiave, altre idee? Vado a controllare sopra, ma...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Oh no.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
Infatti è strano.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out.
Non credo.
We'd be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here? You try the door. It's locked.
Ok.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
In realtà io ho provato a uccidere e sono morto, quindi...
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
A quanto pare.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
Ah.
hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth,
Aiuto.
tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of... It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a... Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happened.
Ammazzo.
Without hesitation,
Oh.
bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay.
Oh, ci siamo riusciti.
Now I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me
Nah.
this whole time?
Basti basti.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of...
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Ok.
We have the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. I'm not so sure.
Infatti.
Don't waver now. As you ready your blades to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to take her up. Your blade cuts into her again.
No, sicuramente, vieni sbattuto.
Tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
Vai, ammazza.
Your nerves are seizing with pain. You know
Uccidila, usa il maramaglionchi.
blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back.
Ok.
You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back. We can still turn this around.
Allora, porta al termine della missione. Corri verso le scale e rinchiudi in cattive forse morirà. Salviamo, va, fanculo, va. Per una volta tanto salviamo, ok. Vai.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the... Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have
Okay.
Do you not feel all those gashes and holes? You take another step. The two of you enter one last exchange. A flurry of blades. You collapse on the ground. And the princess collapses beside you.
Oh,
Blood pools.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another...
sì.
As the room starts to get fuzzy around, you've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes
muoio. Bene. La strega, prima la torre.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Ho un déjà vu. Ecco, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
Ottimo idea, dobbiamo fare attenzione a scoprire le carte. Non solo lui che possiamo fidare.
You know I
Opportunista, cioè.
It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secret. Did I say I'm
Scusa.
not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue. The old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so...
Mi temo che io stia dicendo la verità, che tutto questo sia già accaduto. Perché dovrei starti a sentire? Perché dovrei provarci?
Those are two very different...
Ok, salto uguale.
We did our best with the information we were given, and yet you still died. And I believe your other... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess, the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how had you failed? That's of... You're laying it on a little thick, laying it on a little... What are you talking about? And what matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page.
Parliamo di questa... L'ultima volta mi ha ucciso, come evito? Mi ha ucciso facendomi a pezzi, non fraintendi, è stato terribile, ma com'è possibile proprio? L'ultima volta avevi detto che era solo, come ha fatto a... Chi era chiuso? Vabbè, è sempre uguale. Vai.
A warning. If she will lie, don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done.
Ok, vediamo. È una capanna, non è... Ok, diverso.
A mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble.
Veramente umido e tredoso, l'unica cosa degna è un mucchio di fango simile.
Blade is your
Non hai detto nulla dello specchio alla parete. L'ultima cabana era diversa.
very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally... So focus up.
Avvicinati allo specchio.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. What are you talking about?
Avvicinati allo specchio.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Uguale.
I hope you know how... No blade. Leaving it behind didn't work out so well for us. It'll always be here.
Sarà sempre qui in caso che...
Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time. The door to the basement creaks open. The weak starlight from the air smells of her voice skitters up.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down.
Ok. Ciao.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying?
È vero.
Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess.
Sì.
Friendly enough? Maybe we can talk up. You can't. Unless you look. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before me? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task.
Ok.
Fine. You're the boss.
You're the boss.
Thank you.
Non mi...
You descend the basement. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom.
Mi sembra molto più animalesca.
The far wall, her eyes
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back, that's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out?
Vabbè.
Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be... So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. You fought us on it back in the woods.
Però in Mosca hai provato... È vero.
When the only perspectives we had were yours and I'm just glad we could put all... Is it all behind us? Just...
Basta, parla via fra di loro.
I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now. So I'd appreciate it if you would take... Let's chatter up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where... Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Allora... Mi dispiace, ascolto, come suonerò? Tu sei birbaio, no? Sono sicuro che hai capitato anche te. Qualcosa mi dice che sei arrabbiato con me. Mi hai esperienza che... Quando hai cominciato a soffarti il braccio a Mosi, sono andato nel panico, così ti ho pugnalata, la situazione mi sfuggì, ma... Sono disarmato, vuol dire che non ho cattivo intento, quindi perché non proviamo a chiarirci? L'ultima volta siamo molti entrambi, ti va di metterci una mente? Ascolta, lo so che l'ultima volta il settore è degenerato, però penso che dietro questa faccenda ci sia qualcosa più grande di noi. Tu e io dovremmo fare squadra. Perché ho il senso che se ti aiutassi ne preferirei proprio meno? Non abbastanza per i retti, sicuramente non abbastanza per i retti. Me ne vado.
Very pragmatic. That is why you're in charge.
Abandoning me, are you? Fine then, run. Tuck your you might be able to escape me, but you can't escape from what you are and what you've
Se non sono io a uccidere sarà Seb a farlo.
Turn to leave, but as you do, there's a deep cabin starts to get. What the hell is going on? We're getting out of here and saving our skins. That's what's going on. As the roots that make up the walls of the cramped basement attempt to close in around you, the steps are uneven and lively. Creaking, the cabin is smaller than it was before, and it's getting even smaller. That's fine. We'll just. I'm sure you'd like to do that, but unfortunately, there is no longer a front door. The roots have already. As your mind races for an answer, you.
Do you hear that, you loathsome thing? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to...
E non pensi a te stesso, così come schiacceranno me. Non siamo animali, siamo persone, possiamo trovare, possiamo sistemare. Mi mangio, ti aiuterò a uscire di qui. Tu e io possiamo provare, possiamo essere... E cosa ne pensi?
As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer.
It doesn't help anyone. I
Ma
can't kill us both just to spite me. See? This is exactly.
Ha fatto bene, ho fatto as di vazzi, raga.
Why you shouldn't have left her in the basement. The roots grow ever. We know. We can.
Dimmi perché lo stai facendo. Ferma, puoi fermare. Avanti, mi stanno schiacciando. Probabilmente stanno schiacciando anche te. Non so con certezza, però. Perché non posso vederti, ma dall'umore sembrerebbe di sì. Qual è? Hai paura di qualche...
That one made me feel
Questo mi ha...
I don't want people to think we're scared. Nobody. I, for one, think this is a perfectly reasonable situation to feel scared in. You feel something against your back. Shit. What do we do?
siamo. Mi mangio tutto. Vabbè, aspettiamo la morte, raga.
To the floor as the roots can. We're never gonna
È quello che ci meritiamo.
with that. At least she isn't gonna make something of herself either. At first, it's almost gentle. Your body being lifted.
Vabbè, ah, che ma.
Suffering is what you deserve, you hideous creature. No, as you
The pressure is on. And then
Mm. Bene. C'è pure il capitolo 3. Ah no, che no.
We are a path in the woods. We have his gaze pushes against.
no, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods. You're on a path in the woods.
Che-
That's not the princess, is it?
Quante volte sei stato qui?
No. I think this is our third.
No, seconda.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach you too. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have
The thing that sits beyond our
Mm.
reach. He tries to stay.
Ok, va bene.
The rest of
Shut
you
up.
talk. What happened? Why does he want to know? I don't mind where we are right now. There's no reason to keep secrets. We tried leaving her in the basement, but she made the cabin come to life, and it crushed both. And for what it's worth, I'm with him. This is nice.
Mm.
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt.
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste, and now you're convinced you're stuck together. What a mess.
Sto un po' capendo questo gioco. Non ne capisci.
We aren't convinced of anything.
Mm. Tutto questo non mi piace. Io dovrei essere me stesso e tu dovresti essere qualcosa di diverso da me. È così che dovremmo essere tu e io, ma adesso cosa facciamo?
They push back.
Ma la
It may
presenza,
She's
ok.
trying to use you.
Ricorda ciò che...
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes. Not after being something as beautiful.
Doesn't all that conflict
Non si sa qualcosa di
feel so
lontano.
far away right now? So petty.
Mm.
Spoken like, honestly, a real puppet master. Have we considered that maybe?
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there? That petty feeling it feels mutual.
Please, stop. If you pay.
Don't look at it.
She's trying to turn you away from the truth.
C'è qualcosa che...
And she doesn't want you to see. Everyone's pulling in different directions, but that
Guarda l'odio che serve nella scuola.
Please, don't make us remember how.
and just like that, you right. She really does hate us, and we hate her. It hurts thinking about us as separate things.
Ok.
Thinking, getting into absolute madness.
Faccio da paranoico.
We're separate from her. Of course we are. I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed, and yet you keep remembering. You remember that you are a
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you of all things.
I wish I didn't have to.
some divisions when sown can never
Ah.
truly be mended. A cabin comes into being among the trees. And then you find yourself blade in hand. Exact at the center of it all is the princess. A wooden and fleshy.
Kill me then, if you hate me so much.
I don't like this. What he wants us to do. It's just cruel. Well, this should be easy.
È vero.
If you're sure. Do we have to do this? You have to.
Non veramente, ma tu e io non possiamo essere la stessa cosa. Qualunque cosa ci fosse successo, ho dovuto interrompere. Allora, facciamo un salvo qua. Perché mi sembra interessante. Ammazza. Oh,
Raise the blade, taking aim at her heart.
I'm sorry.
levati dai coglioni. Oh no. Che succede? Ok. Ma non la vedi mai morire, era di andare.
And there's that mirror again.
Questa parola non è per tutti i serafini, non per me.
But it feels so bad. It's calling. If they think it's.
Non è per tutti alla fine, non per me. Ho detto tutto bene.
Okay, can we trust? Fine.
Avvicinati allo specchio e vediamo il nostro riflesso, no? Sei cresciuto. In che senso sono cresciuto? Oddio, dove cavolo sono finito?
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality whenever you are ready.
Ok, sei lo stesso essere di prima, quanto sei cambiata?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken.
E senza darci prova cambia così. Quando tutto questo finirà, sai cosa vuoi fare? Ok, sei stata più gentile con me, come che ho mancato. Perché?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the
Ok.
There's nowhere for you to be.
Sono pronto per tornare indietro.
I await your return, but we will meet again.
Ok. È bello, il gioco è bello. Cioè, mi piace questo concetto lì.
You're on a path.
Allora, sì. Prosegue in silenzio.
You make your way. She will. We're not gonna.
Entra nella capanna.
Interior the blade.
Entra nella cantina. Questa volta facciamo gli amici.
Her voice
Hello?
is. Don't let.
Sono qui per salvarti.
Times do I have to tell?
Wait,
Sta zitto.
really? You're here to rescue me? I was come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with. She's beautiful. I am begging.
Hi. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're.
Aspetta. Vedo cosa posso fare.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge no. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the. They're large and heavy. Far too.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere
No.
upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the prince.
Non c'è mai altre idee, vado a controllare sopra, magari la chiave è ancora lì da qualche parte. In caso contrario forse posso trovare qualcosa per...
I'll be here.
You attempted to make your way. Is someone else here? You tried.
Ehi!
Your shouts and pleas are met. You're here to. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much
Niente.
easier
Sta zitto.
for everyone. Look at the mess.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know.
She barely hesitates before
Ah,
she
yeah.
rips her flesh from her. It's the blade from. Or we could. You won't like what.
Salva la principessa.
Fine.
Ah, qua non c'è l'asti vasti.
Against your better
Ah.
to cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp.
Ah!
Takes little effort to crack through the. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Effettivamente.
She didn't.
Non ha fiatato.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours. Blood from her wound. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Infatti.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Va bene.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world.
Sta zitto.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, you're. Wait, this isn't fair. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Oddio, il narratore.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
Tipo se qualcosa.
You know you.
Your body lunges forward.
Ma dai.
Head held low, ready to sink into. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm. The
Resisti.
blade. Move. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the prince.
We both know this is.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hand.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew.
Oh no.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's for her sake.
Ah, interessante.
Dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest.
I'm
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Non so proprio come usare un
Apparently
coltello.
not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You can't just end like this. Oh, that's rich coming from you.
E questa sì che è bella.
I prefer for things to have gone differently. I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark.
Bastardo il narratore, bastardo.
You're here to
Ho un terribile.
terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time he doesn't remember what happened. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time.
Invaghito.
If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the... Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. What can I say? A world without love is...
Oddio. No, questo è molto più che no. Sono pensato che tutto questo sia già successo.
Go back and forth on...
Mettiamo che io stia dicendo la verità di tutto questo. Perché dovrei saltare a sedere? Perché dovrei provarci?
Those are two very different... Let's...
Vabbè.
You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to... Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. I'm not going to argue with you. Anyway, I believe... What do you mean? Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs...
È sempre la stessa domanda.
Would never. She's a
Vabbè,
perfect...
la voce dell'invaghito è molto, molto esagerato,
Convoluted. I don't know how this premise could be any more...
Ma ok, personaggi verso la sono dalla loro parte, troverò un modo per arrivare da quella
You can't stop all. We're going to sweep her off. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself
Sì,
with?
sì, sì. C'è di verso la capanna.
Before you go any further, she will lie. We
Sì.
already told you we're not. I think we've already been over this. I do. Sure.
Vediamo come cambia la capanna.
Bickering any mind.
Sono curioso. Quindi la capanna cambia in base all'azione che fai nel primo capitolo. Quindi quello
The
dell'in...
interior of the cabin is clean and elegant. Its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries. A prison. The blade is your implement.
Allora, vorrei dare una considerazione. Allora, mi piace, mi sta piacendo questo gioco, quindi mi sembra di capire che quello che succede nel primo capitolo cambia un po' anche il sentimento del protagonista che prova per la principessa. Infatti nel primo capitolo avevamo cercato di uccidere subito la principessa, ma siamo stati sopraffatti e quindi avevamo la voce dell'affranto, quello da, come dire, infimo, no? Cioè nel senso che si sente inferiore, svalutato, è per questo che la principessa sembrava tipo Gesù Cristo, mentre quello del tradimento lo vedevamo anche lei incazzata nera per il tradimento, come giusto che sia. Vediamo un po' adesso cosa fa. Non hai detto nulla dello specchio, la capanna è diversa dall'ultima volta.
Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to
Ma sta zitto.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been. So focus.
Quindi avvicinati allo specchio, entra nella cantina.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell, but it's still a stone basement. A soft voice carries...
Hello? Is
Her voice. It's... I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking...
Non mi sono trattenuto, ma adesso
We barely even know the princess.
siamo con la sua stessa. E infatti,
For everyone's sake, you're not in love.
è vero, dobbiamo rimanere normali.
Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around. My love, we're here to rescue you from your
Sta zitto.
She can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but sure. Oh, your spirit's plenty.
it's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't.
Did you hear that? She said we're and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you. Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible. That's right, villain. And well, she killed only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. And you've died before.
Sei già morto.
So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd
Che
be
poi
the
stavolta hai la possibilità di fare...
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want...
Allora, non ho portato un coltello, devo tagliarti di nuovo il braccio per liberarti. L'ultima volta mi hai ucciso e mi hai fatto parecchio male, perché l'hai fatto? Cosa è successo dopo la mia morte? Devo chiedere, hai causato la fine del mondo dopo che... Mi dispiace per tutto quello che ci è stato. Il narratore aveva preso il mio controllo del mio
Another
corpo.
version of me was pushed to such drastic action. It was for good reason.
Sì.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride.
Va bene,
To a
sapete.
surprising extent. That's because she's Do you think she has someone like him telling her what? She doesn't. I think he's right, because I like it better if she...
Allora... Devo chiedere, hai causato la fine? Cosa è successo dopo la mia morte?
You died, and now we're talking.
Non ho coltello. L'ultima volta... Ma prima che iniziasse a parlare, il mondo è stato distrutto. Hai causato la fine del
Oh
mondo?
no. Was I supposed to have ended the world?
Isn't that just like our darling prince? Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Grazie. Onestamente il mondo fa schifo, le persone sono una piaga. Spero che tu li abbia condannato a una fine lenta e dolorosa.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
Ah, sì, mi spiace per te, io sono un misantropo, per davvero.
For you, I did destroy the world. I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
Evviva!
She just admitted to obliterating the entire world. But it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out.
Perché?
Have you seen her angelic face? By destroying the world. Apparently.
L'ultima volta mi... Allora, non ho... Salva principessa.
What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity?
Why not?
Even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip
No,
her
poi ci
out.
dell'invaghito, raga.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
E perché no,
Her
scusa?
hand to slip out of the chains. Why hasn't she done it already?
Le sue mani possono scivolare fuori...
Because we've yet to present her. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe
Vedo
me?
che c'è un po' di conflitto tra quello dell'eroe, l'invaghito, eccetera.
Or would you rather believe that? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those. One of
Piris.
us has to be. Then let me show you a brand. No, I can't let you do that. You're what? Take over our body and force us to try and. I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions can. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings.
Il mondo finanze non riusciamo a fermarla.
We don't stop her. You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace.
Sta zitto, narratore.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who
E
needs
via.
a weapon when we have the power of love?
What do we do now?
Tu cosa vorresti fare? È vero?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone.
I don't
Non so.
actually know. Nobody's
Vabbè.
ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong.
Vabbè.
What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? You're so gullible. It's the only thing you've ever doubted.
I think I want to leave. And I think,
The princess closes her eyes in deep, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Stare con te. Voglio che tu mi dica cosa vuoi. Vai pur sempre vuoi qualcosa. Vuoi casare alla fine? Voglio che tu...
I just want to make you happy.
Oh.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want.
Vai pure volevo. Ma hai bisogno di qualcosa di tuo. Ci siamo incosati, non puoi basare. Ma cosa ti renderebbe?
Make you happy?
Is she broken?
Ecco.
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar.
Se me ne andiamo.
Sounds perfect.
Ok.
Oh, phew.
è tornata normale, perché prima era successo qualcosa di strano.
Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. The princess takes your hand. The last hopes we have each other. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made, and this I will do about it.
Vabbè, se mi fa backstab,
The
vabbè.
princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face. And that's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here?
She's right. It isn't fair. Enough with this true love nonsense.
È vero.
You wouldn't understand.
Sono incontrate.
You listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Pensi di poterla aprire?
Well, I don't know. Do you think I can?
Of course she can. Nobody is.
Sì, penso che tu possa farcela.
Okay, let me try.
The princess tries the hand. Lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you she could do it. You and the princess make your way up the blade. That's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to... You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems
Sta zitto.
Yes, what he said. That's not how this works.
Se abbiamo bisogno di null'altro e se restiamo qui e iniziassimo la vita insieme. Va, salviamo di nuovo. Facciamo così. Qui e iniziassimo la vita insieme.
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. That's exactly what... Did you suggest? You answered me.
But the door's right.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not... She's not wooed by you because staying...
Possiamo essere felici, dobbiamo solo... Allora ce ne andiamo. Hai ragione, ce ne andiamo.
Okay. That's the way out. We're going to leave together.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
Evviva!
We did it. What should we do now?
La fine del mondo.
Everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy.
I'm cold. Is being...
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her...
Che è successo? Non hai il tempo di creare niente di genere, è mai lavare, è l'ora di andare, ricordi?
Is that a... Yes.
Guarda il tuo riflesso. Sei avvizzito. Posare verso la capanna. E ti trovi alla capanna. Oh, scusate raga, arrivo. Ok, siamo di nuovo alla capanna. Avvicinati.
I am a growing chorus of
Una
contradiction.
molte di
The
flussi,
massive
riflussi.
tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new. And to look
Ok.
away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing.
Tu non puoi essere una contrazione, non può esistere. Come fai a superare il fatto di essere una... Non vedo quante volte torna indietro. Uno di noi va sempre del male all'altro, non ti cambia questa cosa.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse?
No.
Do you resent me?
No, anzi, mi piace di più. Non so cosa ciò dica sul mio conto. No, direi di no. Sembra tutto così distratto, almeno sono accanto a te. Non ho un'opinione da offrirti, vorrei solo che tutto questo finisse.
It does seem small for
È vero, ho
me,
visto.
and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be.
Tutto quello che mi dici sembra un indovinare. Puoi darmi almeno una risposta chiara?
Words are difficult for me.
Ok.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could.
Come penso? Cosa ne pensi di costruire città?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose.
Ok.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Ok.
Your Honor, you're here.
Hai mai pensato che...
While I appreciate the mental exercise we are running, nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess, and before you causality, it's no use unless...
Non può fare qualcun altro? Allora, proseguo in silenzio, andiamo avanti. Questa volta atteniamo il coltello.
Ignore. The interior you take the...
Entra.
The door...
Who's there?
Vedete che il tono di voce cambia.
Sounds dangerous. Don't let it...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with... She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No, ho preso decisione. Va bene, mi hai sorpreso. Non ho ancora deciso.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just...
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
È vero.
Maybe she... The blade tumbles out of your...
Thank you.
Vediamo un po'.
Against will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Già, basta la relazione. Ci stai provando con me. Come ti chiami?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail.
Sai perché sono qui a ucciderti? Io no.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Come faccio a farti uscire da qui?
Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... Well, We can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she is.
Too long.
Da troppo tempo.
Again, she offers no specifics, no matter how.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other.
Va bene, abbiamo parlato abbastanza, ok.
Oh, have you decided what to do?
You know why. That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Ok.
you have to make a choice.
Allora, vediamo di farti uscire da qui. Vabbè.
Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a huge... No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the
Okay.
wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even...
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away...
Se no hai altre idee, a parte farti tagliare il braccio per liberarti.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
Ok, proprio
She
così.
speaks with almost... If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant. You attempt to make your way. Is someone else here? You try the door. You're here to...
Ok.
You make your way back. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down. The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of...
You won't like what happened.
Salva la principessa.
Against your
Ah!
judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Ok.
No, we won't have any of that. As the prince... Wait, this isn't... Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her
Aiuto.
back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before... Stop it! Stop resisting! The blade. Move.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Oh, grazie.
I'll make this quick.
Va bene.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your...
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical... Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground. This is the end. I'm afraid it is. Everything goes down
Va bene.
and you die.
La prigioniera.
You're on a path.
Quindi se tu scendi col coltello, lei è molto fredda.
Is a
In generale.
And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her.
Ah, ok. Ma sono morto, cosa ci faccio qui? Oh,
By tricks?
ma di...
What on earth are you talking? Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess.
La voce dello
Just
sceriffo.
have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep... You know I can hear you two, and as far as trying to help her goes, need I...
Mettiamo che io...
A warning. She will... Yeah. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't.
Wink.
Just ignore it.
Entra nella capanna.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat. The only furniture of the blade.
Non hai detto nulla dello specchio.
You walk. What do you?
È sempre...
You reach forward, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know
No,
about
questo-
I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without. Are you sure? What if she? I don't know. Yes. turns it against you. Okay.
No. Cosa ti salta in mente?
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. Wonderful. You do
Wow, lo
exactly
scettico
that.
ti fa
Don't worry.
prendere per forza la lama, ok.
The door to the basement creaks. Her voice.
Che cosa strana, raga.
Carries up
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come
to
Achoo.
You walk down the stairs and
Oddio.
lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make... Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat.
Non credo di dover fare granché, vedi com'è incatenata. Lasci qui e basta.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought. That's not fair, unless you deal with her. Huh. So it's not even safe to think.
How surprising. They locked.
Ok, sediamoci con
You
lei.
step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. You have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Siediti dove ti ha detto di sederti.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now,
Fammi uscire da qui e apri la porta. Le mie intenzioni in che senso? Sono il solo a ricordare. Cosa è successo dopo che sono morto? L'altra catena aperta, perché?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in.
Fammi uscire da qui e apri la porta. Prima mi hai chiesto che... Sono già stato questo, non solo a ricordare. Cosa...
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game.
First, you make a comment about having been here before. As much as I would like to remain in its complicated things, ideally this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to the situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that if you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable.
È vero.
It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep, and maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting to know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck. Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful?
È vero.
Dark. The more I say, the more your success hinges on you. I won't. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Ho delle voci in testa, principessa. Dopo che sono morto. Quando trovare non mi ho... Cioè, mi dispiace. Se io faccio ammazzare la principessa. Cosa vorresti che facessi?
Borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous, but she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows. Oh, please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us. So, what should... I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros. Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use... That doesn't sound great. There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly
Meno di quanto possiamo fare.
trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned.
Dammi una
I
manetta.
wouldn't do that. And Why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason. But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am.
Vediamo, esaminiamo, tanto.
Against your better judgment, you apply. What is that supposed to mean? Yes. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time. Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnet, and as if your situation weren't bad. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together.
What are we supposed to do now? Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll stop. That's horrible. It's not all bad. We learned a value not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch. No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's
Dunque siamo qua. Tu lo sapevi che sarebbe successo? No. Ah.
Yep.
Tu perché non ti piace il comprendevole?
Nope.
That's rude.
I don't know.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. But there isn't. Time, it passes. At least the world is safe.
That's
It
all.
isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the but she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms how
niente.
does that work? It just. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of
Ride questa conversazione tra il narratore e le voci in testa.
again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work. I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences.
Hai notato che la cantina sta cambiando?
I don't like small talk. Remember?
Still rude.
Ma cambia. È vero, sta cambiando.
Continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues. That doesn't make sense. She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't.
Oh, Gesù.
More silent until suddenly there are no walls, and I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Vero.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
She's gone, and there's that mirror.
Vediamo un po'. Che vicino al specchio.
This doesn't feel right. Part of me wants the truth, but
Ti sei disfatto. Storia lunga e quieta.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. Do you know it will
È una domanda retorica, tu lo sai, vuol dirmi per caso?
rhetorical? I am not rhetorical.
Ok.
I'm asking you because I cannot know your
Poi c'è qualcosa di opera. Cosa ne pensi di questo ricettacolo?
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
Quando mi rimani indietro non sono solo, ci sono delle voci che mi parlano, alcune sono me, ma una di loro è qualcos'altro. Io lo chiamo il narratore e vuole che io ti uccida. Tu ce l'hai un narratore, i ricercatori ne hanno mai avuto uno?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Sì, non so perché, ma lo so per certo. Sì, non so cosa farò quando lo troverò. Quando lo troverò io e te finalmente avremo delle risposte.
Do not look to one who fears me for your
Ho
truth.
trovato la tua verità. Le uniche risposte che vale la pena ricevere sono quelle che possiamo trovare dentro noi stessi. Sai cosa succederà quando ti risveglierai? È vero. Uno.
Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me.
Un altro ricettacolo, ok.
The next time I see you, each of us will find I will be here.
Quale ricettacolo mi mancherebbe, secondo voi?
Your Honor, unfortunately. Are you serious? Fine. Good. Ignore that annoyance.
Vediamo un po'.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. You're real. When I said and, last I checked, you're part of everyone too. But fine. You turn around and trek back down. What would you?
Ma sì, volevo dire che andavo in un'altra direzione di
There's
nuovo.
always a choice. Let me tell you right, and here we go. As you try at first, but as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those in every way. What's going? You're too stubborn for that. You've doomed us all.
Oddio.
Lose track of just how long you're on a path. You're here.
Ti ho detto che non posso entrare dalla capanna, allora me ne stavo qui nei boschi.
I'm already committed to my completion.
Sai che la prima volta hai davvero casato la fine dell'uomo, è vero? Cosa ti ora? Non sono morto.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense. He doesn't remember what happened. I don't know. I think it's more fun.
Voci del Bastian contrario.
Captive audience.
Non lo so, penso che sarebbe tutto più diverso se lui sapesse cosa pensiamo.
I've walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. The world hasn't ended yet.
Sì, d'accordo, andrò a capare, ma...
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. A warning. She will twist, ignore him. Let's.
Qua adesso non abbiamo un'altra scelta, va bene.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across almost. The only furniture of note is a plain table. It's the blade. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it, collect dust. Or better yet, no, we're taking the knife. I've already told you, you can't just say that. Listen to me. And if you're going...
Ok.
Just ignore how. I'm not going to stop. Yes, what you're saying here. Okay. Good.
Non hai detto nulla su... Entriamo nella cantina. Questa volta entriamo nella cantina senza.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web. Nothing here seems to belong. The air here has a sickening, almost. If the princess lives here, slaying her voice.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall.
Non possiamo andare su... Cosa significa voce del Bastian contrario? Cosa intende dire Bastian contrario? Bastian contrario. È un termine. È una serie di idiomati della lingua che indica colui che assume per partito preso opinioni leggermente contrari a quelli della... Ah, ok.
And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways.
Usa la scalinata d'usa. Vabbè, quella centrale usiamo.
Step onto the center staircase. You concentrate on where you are, and so you no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much. You slowly lose sense of yourself. Time disappears. Physical sensations.
Aiuto. Che succede?
Can I help you?
What the hell was that? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also... Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to the princess. Eyes bright, but otherwise shrouded in darkness. Watch. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way. You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember.
Ok.
So I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's...
Scusa, non mi ero accorto di essere qui. Come ti chiami? Scendere qua giù è stato strano, come se mi avessero fatto a pezzi prima. Qua giù per un motivo, sai perché sei qui? A quanto pare rappresenta una minaccia per il mondo.
And yet here you are. How strange. Do you remember anything at all? Do you know why you're here?
No.
Do you know me?
The shadows recede, revealing that she's so blank. Isn't that fun? A new puzzle. If she's keeping her cards close to her chest, it's because...
It's okay. Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was... We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cards over again. Can we put a... You said you'd been here before, right?
Ok.
What does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time. It seems to me...
Aiuto, cosa sta succedendo? Raga, sono confuso.
If only whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head,
Ok.
Let's see if we can make even more of her.
È vero. Ora ci sono diverse versioni. Come ti chiami? Sei fuori qui, provo ad arrivare. Non so cosa sia.
Wait, that's not right.
Aspetta, è giusto.
You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall. You can feel
Aiuto.
yourself rupture. The room spins. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable this?
Ma questo non possiamo.
You don't have anything witty to say? Why could you? No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening? Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever.
Okay.
Falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others just don't fit.
Ok.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this?
We should help her. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. A little late for a
Un po' troppo tardi per ammacarsi. Hai di tutto non ti rimetto a posto. Andrà tutto bene, farò del meno. Non credo che tu debba essere messo a posto, no. Andrà tutto bene. Ok, questo è proprio il finale più confusionario. Ma se sei in grado di dare le risposte su...
Is that But it feels... Yeah, don't look at it.
Alla fine, qualunque cosa ci sia. Avvicina.
Don't like that.
Guarda il tuo riflesso. È vuoto. Non sai niente. Ah. Tu sei me?
I think you know what I am.
Si chiama una crepa al centro della specchio. Ah, aiuto. Quindi sei il narratore, mi chiedevo se ti avrei mai visto prima o poi. Se non sei me, allora cosa? Ho così tante domande da farti.
The narrator. Yes.
Sì,
I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me.
Sei giunto fin qui. Tu cosa sei simile a me? Se non sei me, allora cosa sei? Ogni volta che ti chiedo qualcosa, uno dei tuoi pezzi ti pronto.
I haven't, and that's by
No.
both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon.
Ok.
You're the long
Tu
quiet
sei la lunga quiete.
God I made to rid the world of death.
Se una divinità o lo è, non avrei dovuto vedere tutto questo. Che cos'ha poi ci ha creato anche lei?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which
Esatto, come gli altri la
others perceive her to be.
percepiscono.
But an echo can't perceive things, so I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone.
All
You
right.
need to do this.
È vero.
You flirted with dying. You've played pretend.
Ok. E come sai che per gli altri la morte non sia un'esperienza analoga alla mia? Ricordo che la mia morte sia un bene in realtà, anzi che sia importante. Là fuori, oltre le pareti di questa cosa, sanno di tutto questo, sanno che vuoi che io faccia loro. E se nessuno di noi lasciasse questo loro funzionerebbe, non possiamo essere qui senza disturbare. Come posso distruggere un concetto astratto? Perché proprio perché non poteva essere una formica o una fetta di pane bagnato?
Spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you. She wound up a princess. Maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I do.
Sì.
People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable. Of course there will be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world and I did what I...
Ok.
Of course not. The only way this construct could function when the patterns are wiped. Her nature is to become what others perceive her to be. If you actually knew what she wants.
Molte dell'autore resta colto di domande.
I've said my piece, and my time is up.
Ciao ciao.
I'm just an echo, and every echo.
Vedete senso? Tu sei la lunga quieta, non diventare immensa e emergente. Non c'è un ultimo dice tra la terra, non c'è niente che tu debba trovare. Ok?
I can finally see you, and you can It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Conosci le hai ascoltato? Lei risponde che appena un'infinità a cascate di sorride. Cosa succederà ora?
You're the passive player, always reacting and never acting. When the echoes spun us from one into two,
Ok.
he gave you a choice. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning?
Ci sono così tante persone che abbiamo lasciato, davvero possiamo andare? Parliamone, ho ancora tante domande che mi servono. Se ti aiutassi c'è un intero mondo vivirebbe. Se trasformarti in tal mondo è il tuo destino, allora che senso avevano su te? Oddio, raga. È vero.
Of course I have a say in all of this.
Ok.
If we didn't, the winding...
Vabbè, andiamoci.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those...
Bene. Cadi dentro di te stesso. Il corpo di un'antica creatura si risveglia dal tuo letargo e senti negli altri sentimenti qui tutto tranne lei e te. Cosmo che senti... ok, senti il vetro della costruzione schiacciati, rinchiuditi lì. Ma non c'era.
I love you.
Ok. La pretensione si spezza. Che sta succedendo, raga? E lei con te?
Magnificent.
Entra nell'infinito. Bene. Wow, che animazione. Nelle 1000 albe, 1000 tramonti, ciascuno dei quali contiene altri 1000. E tu ne sei consapevole, proprio come lei è sempre stato, sarà sempre sereno. Nonostante il conflitto voi due non sarete mai soli, voi due non conoscete mai parole. Tu e lei siete finalmente a casa. Creato da Tony Howard, alias Abby Howard. Scritto da Tony Howard, illustrato e animato da Abby Howard. Ok. Questo incarico è stato pubblicato con i nostri partner. Ok. Vediamo chi è che ha fatto la testa. Beatrice Ceruti, Francesco Caliguri, Federico Castellano. Ok. C'è anche il controllo della qualità. Ok. GG well play. E infine ringraziamenti speciali. Per esprimere una serata, ecco l'ordine dei brani per una playlist speciale tutto europeo, premendo il tasto H, ok. Interessato per la prima volta hai anche sbloccato la galleria, puoi accedere sia dal menu tramite la scheda ricordi. È ricca di indizi che ti rendono il ricettacolo e le interazioni che non hai ancora scoperto, buona caccia. Unisci dal nostro salvare se c'è altrove. Ok, torna. Ok. Quindi questi sono tutti i ricettacoli, ok? Che noi abbiamo trovato tutti. Gli inizi e i finali. Allora, principessa, la fine di ogni cosa. Attore, il dubbio, forza, la mano, la fedeltà. La strega, l'estranea. La prigioniera, il dubbio, spezzona la catena, rivolsa l'alta, la donzella. Ok. Bene, allora. Questo è Slay the Prince e devo dire che è un bel giocone, devo essere sincero con voi. Cioè, mi piace, molto bello. Sicuramente la continueremo per sbloccare tutti i ricettacoli. Devo dire che è molto più o meno filosofico come gioco di per sé. Mi piace il fatto che ha una struttura comunque, come dire, mi ricorda Doki Doki Literature Club, quindi c'è diciamo un ritorno da capo e dipende appunto dal primo atto e il secondo atto. Questa cosa è una struttura che non mi dispiace, mi piace parecchio, quindi bello, davvero bello. Niente raga, io vi saluto, termino qui questa live, devo dire, cioè non vi saprei neanche dare un'opinione personale perché devo dire che è molto figo il concept, anche il fatto che il protagonista non è per nulla umano, sicuramente ci sono molti misteri e enigmi riguardo al narratore, no? Mi sembra di capire che appunto nel terzo atto vediamo praticamente, come dire, l'arché della principessa e il nostro arché dovrebbe essere tipo il narratore, no? Vabbè, in ogni caso io termino qui questa live, ci vediamo alla prossima live, sempre su Slay the Princess, sicuramente troveremo gli altri ricettacoli, tanto dobbiamo fare diverse interazioni e nulla, io vi saluto e ci vediamo alla prossima puntata, ciao ciao.
La sirena gatta vampira e altre follie. Una raccolta di racconti di vario genere, horror, romantici e persino autobiografici. Disponibile su Amazon sia in versione cartacea che digitale.
Compralo, brutto stronzo! Compralo! Now!